Hey guys, Anime Kajin here. In today's video, we're going to talk about the top 10 new Isekai Anime of 2022, Part 2.
きっといつか見たこともない弓使いが現れるよ
It has been a year of jumping between different worlds in the eyes of the different protagonists, and we all love to see them having a chance to have it their way, as opposed to what they had in the previous life. There are definitely a lot of these shows this year that we will add from what we've given you in Part 1, and we also sprinkled a few sequels that came out 2022 here and there. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos about anime. Even with just 3.69% of you guys subscribing to our channel would be a big help. So without further ado, let's begin.
どんなスプラッターだよ。はい、クソゲー。
If you've always dreamed of living inside of your favorite game, then this anime might be the one for you. When Kaga Michio browses through a strange-looking game, he suddenly finds himself living as a player in the fantasy world. He wakes up in a pile of hay and discovers that he possessed the skills and items that he had chosen for his character in the game. Everything seemed cool. He got to play like the character, got an awesome sword, and even got to battle some bandits who were attacking the village. However, when he tries to log out, he finds out that he could not escape the virtual world. He quickly accepts that this has become his reality and must continue on to survive the game. He later learns that in this world, you can earn money by obtaining the intelligence card of bandits and other bad guys, which you can use to buy slaves, including those for pleasure. With this newfound knowledge, he journeys on in this faux game world to explore the dungeons, earn money, and build the harem of his dreams.
これでもう俺のことを知る人間は誰もいなくなるんだな。みんなが喋る言葉がわからない。みんなが知る常識を俺は知らない。違う世界に来てもなお、違う世界の外にいる。
先輩方の狙いは俺でしょ？今ここで相手になりますよ。
Okay, pop-up quiz. If you were to be reincarnated and sacrificed all your memories now, how much stat increase do you think you'll have in the next world? Sure hope it gets you somewhere far. This is exactly what our protagonist Kelvin does to prepare for reincarnation in another world. Sacrifice his memories from his previous life in exchange for powerful abilities, additional skill points, and an S-class summoner title. As a bonus Konosuba-ish move, the goddess facilitating his rebirth, Melfina, offers him a choice of any companion to give him a head start in his summoner role, and Kelvin, falling in love at first sight, chooses the deity without a second thought, confident that his passionate feelings for her will resurface even without all of his memories. Kelvin embarks on his exciting new journey with Melfina as his status menu and guide. However, in order to summon his beloved goddess' physical form, he needs to acquire a tremendous amount of mana points by leveling up by fighting strong enemies and making contracts with even stronger companions in his journey of becoming the ultimate summoner powerful enough to summon the goddess he is truly in love with. An intense loss can bring the most intense passion, but this can also in turn burn us the fastest. World-class medical researcher Kanji Yakutani lost his little sister to a tumor years ago due to a lack of an effective drug. This pushed him to dedicate his research to developing new medications for such conditions when he grew up, but as unfortunate as fate would give, he passed away from overworking, but was given a second chance at life in another world. He woke up in the body of a 10-year-old boy named Falma de Medicis, the son of an esteemed family of medical practitioners in the same Fluve Empire. Bearing the mark of a deity's divine blessing, Falma is capable of performing a unique divine art which was mistakenly thought to simply control water, when in reality, it allows him to create and reduce any substance with the knowledge of its chemical properties. Falma realizes that this world is operating on similar medical practices as in ancient times, and that medicine is an exclusive privilege to the nobility, depriving commoners of proper medical care. Using the knowledge from his past life and the divine abilities granted to him, Falma resolves to make medicine available to those who need it regardless of who they are.
ゲームヒロイン
これまでの散々な所業、傲慢な君にはもううんざりだ。
アイリーン。
アイリーン。それってヒロインのライバル、悪役令嬢アイリーン。
In the high society gathering of the Elmer Empire, the guests are shaken to the core with the shocking news. Cedric Jean Elmer, the Crown Prince, is calling off his engagement with Aileen Lauren Daughtridge to be with Lilia Rainworth. As Eileen tries to process what was happening, she realizes that she's not actually Eileen. She's a real person who was transported into the Otome game. She has been obsessed with called regalia of saints, demons, and maidens. Upon this epiphany, she now faces the fact that in this game, she does not play the protagonist role of Lilia, but the villainous Aileen. She remembers that at the end of the game, Eileen is doomed by a gruesome death. Determined to survive, Eileen decides to court her ex-fiancés, half-brother Claude Jean Elmer, the proclaimed Demon King and final boss of the game. However, to win his heart, she must help him achieve his dream of building peace between humans and demons. Little did she know that this would not only change her character's destiny, but the Demon King's as well.
たまにドロドロに甘やかして君をダメにしてしまいたくなる。何か僕にできることはないか。
ここの魔王設定はどこへ。誰。
ケンだ。お前が今抜こうとしている。
びっくり。
びっくりしているようには見えないんだが。
What's better than obtaining a cool talking sword? Being reincarnated into one, of course. A nameless sword realizes that he has been reincarnated into becoming a magical item after his tragic death in his former life. He now lives in a world that has mythical beings such as wyverns, goblins, and extremely sized forest animals, which he can battle to obtain skills and abilities as a sword. Exciting as this may be, he is still a sword without a wielder. He wishes that one day he'll be able to find his companion, but until then, he will level up to become stronger. After defeating many monsters to level up his skills and abilities, he becomes stuck on the ground for a month. Then, just as a young cat girl named Fran valiantly but fruitlessly tries to beat a two-headed bear, she senses the sword's emanating power. In true Arthurian fashion, she picks the sword off the ground and uses it to defeat the beast. After slaying the bear, Fran decides to become the sword's wielder in order to achieve her dream of becoming the first to evolve in her tribe. She renames the sword as Shisho and begins their journey into the world of ferocious beasts. Together, Fran and Shisho become a force to be reckoned with.
おい、急げ！頼む頼む頼む頼む頼む頼む！
请你家不把王律师都给关跑了，你还让我干什么呀？这下不能上当呀，钓鱼又怎么样？
From the almost world-breaking sword festival back in its first season to another almost world-breaking invasion from the demon world in the second season, the daily life of an immortal king comes back for a third season, to which we leave it up to you to see if the world will be threatened once more by Wang Ling's power suddenly going full throttle from whatever circumstance that led to it. After successfully fending off the demon invasion with the destruction of the demon world, it wouldn't be as strange to see Wang Ling's peaceful life go down the drain once more with appearances of stray demons. That said, the gang is back at Faction 60's school a few weeks after looking good as new despite it being left in an extremely battered state after the invasion fiasco, all thanks to Froggy 2's convenient time-based restoration. Now they are faced with the same idea of school, but with another additional face whose cultivation is similar to exorcism and different from what we've seen thus far, that it might stir up things in an unexpected way.
なんだお前！
俺か？俺はただのスタイリッシュ暴漢スレイヤーだ。
スタイリッシュ暴漢スレイヤー。
Strength is logically often brought by training, so for as long as he can remember, Minoru Kagino has been fixated on becoming as strong as possible, leading him to undertake all kinds of rigorous training. This is not because he wants to be recognized by others, since Minoru does everything he can to blend in with the crowd, pretending to be a completely average student during the day, yet arming himself with a crowbar and ruthlessly thrashes local biker gangs at night. But when Minoru finds himself meeting the good old Truckun, his ambitions seemingly come to a sudden end. In his final final moments, he laments his powerlessness that no matter how much he trained, there was nothing he could do to overcome his human limitations. But you know what happens when you get hit by a truck. Instead of simple death, Minoru reawakens as Sid, the second child of the noble Kagino family, in a world where magic is commonplace. With the power he so desired finally within his grasp, he dons the moniker Shadow and establishes Shadow Garden, a group whose sole purpose is to combat the enigmatic cult of Diablos, an organization supposedly from Sid's imagination. However, as Shadow Garden grows in both membership and influence, it becomes increasingly apparent that the cult of Diablos is not as fictional as Sid had imagined it to be.
限界を超えなければならない。僕の憧れる存在は核では蒸発しないのだ。
妥協は許されない。
マジかよ。
風を戻せ。こっちじゃ日本語なんだな。
One day during fall, Takaka Takafumi goes to the hospital to visit his uncle, who has woken up from his 17-year-long coma. When he got there, his uncle, Shibuzaki Yosuke, starts rambling in a strange language and tells his nephew that during those 17 years, he was living in another world where he fought fierce beasts and met otherworldly creatures, all of which Takafumi chalks up as a side effect of his extensive coma. But then, Yosuke does something incredible. With a single phrase, he is able to move the glass of water and pitcher using a strong gust of wind. Takafumi is stunned by this and prompts his uncle to tell him more about the life he lived in the other world. After learning about this other world and his uncle's cool tricks, Takafumi's first thought was the same with anyone who discovers this shocking information: to milk his uncle's powers for content on YouTube. However, this relationship is not one-sided. While Yosuke tells stories about his life in the other world, Takafumi teaches his uncle how to use modern technology, deal with trolls on the internet, and cope with the loss of his favorite video company, Sega. This marks the beginning of the wacky adventures of this uncle-nephew duo.
そう、やばいんだ。異世界帰りで魔法が使えるんだからね。
すごく悔しい。悔しくて悔しくて。
It's a new semester at Bobble's Demon School, and our favorite human hero is back. This time, he takes the adventure to the jungle. Iruma and the rest of the Misfits class return from the battle at Walter Park and are met with adoration by their peers, proclaiming them as heroes of the Netherworld. Iruma, especially, received a lot of attention for playing a key role in the fight. Once again, his plan of keeping a low profile has failed, and he is at risk of revealing his true identity of being a human amongst demons. Because of Iruma and his classmates' valiant efforts in the recent events, the class is rewarded with the Royal One classroom. However, this comes at a price. To be able to use the prestigious classroom, the Misfits class must become a Dalit rank before their second year. This proves to be a challenging feat, as this rank is usually achieved by graduating students. To help them level up their ranks, the school invites special tutors to train them for the upcoming Harvest Festival. Under the guidance of the unpredictable Barbados Bachiko, Iruma prepares for the obstacles that await them in the jungle.
じゃあ僕らの指導教官は？
ああ、いるだろそこに。気分が優れないのかな？
いや、大丈夫だ。
そうか、体は資本、大切にされよ。では私も試合があるので失礼する。
はめてくれたな。違う。
The mighty Ions Ulgoen has returned to once more show the dominance of the great tomb of Nazarick to bewilder our mortal eyes. Irantil, the capital city of the newly established Sorcerer Kingdom, suffers from a dire shortage of goods. Once a prosperous city known for its trade, it now faces a crisis due to its overwhelming caution or perhaps even fear of its king, Ions Ulgoen. To make amends, Ion sends Albedo to the city as a diplomatic envoy. Meanwhile, the cardinals of the slain theocracy discuss how to retaliate against Ions after his attack crippled the Riestes Kingdom's army, scheming for the Baruth Empire to position itself and take over the Sorcerer Kingdom. However, when Emperor Jerknev Runefar Lord Elnix arranges a meeting with the theocracy's messengers at a Colosseum, he is confronted by none other than the all-powerful Ions himself. With their secret gathering turning not so much of a secret anymore, the Emperor and his guests learn that Ions has challenged the Warrior King, the Empire's greatest fighter, to a duel. With Ions' motivations beyond his, or even anyone's comprehension, Jerknev can do nothing nothing but watches humanity's future changes before his very eyes. Understandably so, knowing that Ions holds tremendous power that is several levels above everyone else, that he can do almost anything he wants with no one to stop him.
アイン様、私非常に素晴らしい予防薬を知っております。
ほう。
キスです。
And that's all the anime we have for today. As the year is nearing its end, why don't you leave a like and comment down below which Isekai anime of 2022 was the best? Even better, why not tell us about more Isekai shows that will be released in the upcoming year? If you want to see more anime content, make sure to subscribe and give this vid a thumbs up. Stay tuned, and I will see you guys soon.